you're stuck somewhere and you're trying to improve as a game developer, you're trying to figure things out and you want to be better. But you're there frustrated because you don't know where to go or what to do. I want to talk about this because it's been the forefront of my mind as I've been helping other developers and we have this game dev community and game devs, and I've been seeing people struggle. And sometimes I wonder, okay, what more can I do to help out? And the other day I was helping my daughter. She's 7 in second grade, and she's doing homework, and she gets frustrated when I try to help her. I tell her, okay, if you do this, you can practice, get a piece of paper, you can do the problem on the side and figure it out and make mistakes. But she doesn't want to do it that way. She wants to do it her way. And then she struggles, she complains that she can't do it. And that made me think about developers. I understand that we all have different scenarios, different lifestyles. We're all in different paths, and our lifestyles are different. Our jobs and where we're trying to get at. I want to talk about two things that will help you with game development. You're stuck, or you're trying to get better. Maybe you're not where you want to be. So there's two things you have to worry about. Okay, two problems. Either developers that are failing to do what they want to do is one, they're doing it wrong and they're continually to doing wrong. So until you fix that or you change how you do things, you're going to continue to do things wrong. The second one is not doing anything. So the analysis paralysis, for whatever reason, there's a billion reasons why, but people just procrastinate. Wait and wait and wait to do the thing you need to do. Uh, and and so those are the two things. I know I'm overgeneralizing things, and you might think, well, there's these other reasons why I'm not doing things. But the reality is, you're either doing things or you're not. And if you're doing it and not getting results, you're doing it wrong. That's it. There's nothing else. So let's talk about it. How do we fix these things? So the first one, doing things wrong. Um, you might think, well, there's not a single answer for everything, and that's true. But you can get help from someone that has done it before and avoid mistakes. Okay? So that's why we pay for courses to learn from others, not so that they can spoon feed us information. The main thing you're looking for in other people is experience. Have they done what I want to do? That's why I created Endgame Devs, for like a community of developers that want to get things done. And that way you can find other developers that might be working in Unity, in Unreal, Godot. They might be working in the genre that you like. They might be struggling with similar things. That's why I created that community. I personally love what I'm doing. I'm making games. I get paid for it. I'm making my own stuff, and I'm continuing to learn, and I know where I'm going. And so, if you have a struggle, what are you struggling with? Where are you stuck? And comment below if you have any questions. I often see developers ask, and this might be you. I see them talking about, oh, I need this, like, I'm trying to learn how to do this terrain asset generator or this procedural map creator for my game. And usually they're stuck in a specific tool that they're trying to get, that they're fighting against the engine. And if you step back, like, the reality is that they don't need to work on that. You could work on other things to figure out the game before you even start working on systems or complicated solutions. Most people get stuck in complicated solutions because they dive too deep into specifics too fast. And so that's something that I've seen. And so oftentimes they're like, well, I want to do this one thing that no one's been done before. And so I want to look it up and do this parallax with the 2D or this or that. And I'm like, and why are you doing that? Like, you probably spent a year learning something that you might not even use. And if you're trying to make money, like, how is spending a year in something that you're not going to figure out helping you make money? So oftentimes people are like, well, it's about passion. Okay, so if your goal is to build passionate games, and then you can build it, right? Like, and if you want to spend 10 years doing it or 4 years or whatever, then that's your goal. That's fine. But there's a better way to do things. Okay, so the step number two, though, let's talk about this one's hard because this deals a lot with your habits, and this has to do a lot with learning. And the reality is that you have to look at what you're doing and say, are the things that I'm doing, the inputs in my life, getting me to where I want to be? Are these the things that I want to spend time in? If you're spending time on Facebook, then that's where your goals are at. Then go, is Facebook what you want to do with your life? Is Instagram where you want to be at? Pinterest, whatever it is that you're using your phone for, is that where you want to spend the rest of your life doing? 90% of the time on your phone. And so often, like, why, sometimes we complain about our situation when in reality, we are the ones responsible for being where we're at. And that might be overgeneralizing things, I know. But think about what you're doing and you will realize why you are where you're at. Okay. So if you want to change that, you have to think about, okay, if I want to make games, I need to start prioritizing making games. You need to level up, you need to gain experience in making games. And if you buy courses and pay someone to tell you exactly what to do, you're not learning. You are just repeating things. And yes, you could learn by observing someone, but the reality is you need to learn principles. And you need to game development is about debugging and figuring things out. That harder part about like looking at code for hours is not a waste of time. It's just a skill, and it takes time. With my daughter, example, she had to practice spelling, or she had to do like a word puzzle, and she had to reshuffle letters into the right word. And I told her, it's like, or I looked at her paper and I said, okay, like, I can't see what you're doing, the progress you're making, right? So I gave her a piece of paper that's white, and I told her, like, every time you give it a try to figure out the word, put down the letters, write it down, and try it. Is that a word? If it's not a word, try a different order with the letters, uh, and keep trying that. And if you have, let's say, in this scenario, if she had 20 to 30 different words with the letters rearranged differently, I knew that she put effort, that she tried 20 or 30 times to do the thing she was struggling with. And so I can see that she's putting the input, and then we can figure out, okay, is this the right way to do it? Is this wrong? And so we're back to step number one. But if you never do anything, you can't measure it. You can't go, you're not moving in any direction. And so this is key. If you're not putting in the work, it's not going to get done. And if you don't get things done, you're not going to get better at it. And so those are the two things to think about. It's like, what am I doing? And am I doing it right? Okay. And if you need help, let's talk about it. Comment below if you have any objections, any thoughts, or any contradictions to what I said. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Let's help you get to your dream goals. Do you want to make $1 million? Do you want to learn how to do multiplayer games? Do you want to, I don't know, like, what is your dream goal? What are you trying to achieve? Let's make it happen. Like, it really isn't that hard. The hard part is putting in the time. And if you put in the time, you'll get the results. You just got to make sure that you're able to do things. And so let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's do it.